I don't know. That's probably like some philosophical question of the game, to be honest.
Mm.
I don't even know. Like, there's so many debating ideas on are the most powerful heroes in your team the ones who open up the map and enable others to get strong? Are they the ones who eventually get strong? Are they the ones who help heroes do one of those two things? I mean, I tend to just think it's the combination of all that that's good, and you're just figuring out the pieces of that that are the
Yeah.
best in any patch, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, who are the best heroes with the most net worth? Who are the best that help them get there? Who are the best, like, glue heroes that kind of facilitate all of that happening? And then you could try and win the trades in those areas. So I don't know if it's like a hero's better if he's lower or higher net worth. It's kind of just like, is he better in one of those categories relative to the others that could do that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I kind of think about it.
Storm Spirit. The sack.
Oh, damn, they just jammed out Leshrac in there. That's a bold ass pick.
So TSM's like, you're not gonna get IO Storm, and Quincy Crew's like, okay, we don't care. We're gonna get IO Lesh. I mean,
Yeah,
is there
really
anything
interesting.
wrong with grabbing IO Lesh early?
No, I don't really think so. I mean, this combo's pretty robust. You're getting an insane damage dealer, objective taker, hero you can fight around, and you're getting a hero that's helps him push and sustain and do more damage. So
Yeah.
there's pretty much nothing wrong with this combo. I don't think you want to play versus Nyx, about the only one. But otherwise, you can probably play into most things. Just very robust. It can be good versus Storm. You're an early Yule's buyer. You use him up, stun him when he comes down. If you have any follow-up stuns, probably dies. Quinn probably likes this matchup. I think Lesh does pretty decent in the Storm matchup compared to most heroes because you can outrange him.
Yeah.
I do think an interesting pick there, though, would have been Silencer. I think that would have been pretty spicy.
Wait, IO Silencer?
Yeah, I think Io Silencer's underrated as fuck.
What the fuck? Are you
Like
high?
mid-silencer. Mid-silencer. I think mid-silencer, Dumpster Storm. I think it Dumpster's Bane. Can never grip anybody. And I think Io is the one of only two heroes that enables Core Silencer. I
Really?
think Core Silencer is absolute trash, except when he has his move speed and mobility buffed. And I think there's only like two heroes that do that. One of them's Io and the other is Darkseer. No one's ever going to play Darkseer Silencer, but it is pretty ham. It is ham. But no one's going to play that. So your option's Io Silencer.
Okay.
And it's ham, bro. It's fucking ham. I'll tell you that much.
All right.
Like you get the damage buff, you get the attack speed buff, you get mobility, you get extra HP. I mean, no one will ever probably pick that shit, but it would have been pretty spicy here.
I can kind of see it. My biggest concern always with Silencer is that like I remember I remember when Royo was spamming mid Silencer, that 404 build. I mean, it's incredible how much damage it does, no doubt.
Oh yeah.
My biggest concern is it just gets blown up so quickly. IO Leshrac, that hero naturally builds stats and survivability. His HP goes up. I feel like IO Silencer, that he doesn't do that so much. So I could still see him being blown up despite IO's attempts,
Yeah, I get that. I mean, that's probably why no one plays it. But I'm just saying, one day.
All right, one day.
One day, next patch.
Next patch, Silencer gets a 0.5 strength gain buff.
He gets a blink spell. It's gonna be good.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Ogre also does. Ogre Silencer is good too, but the downside is you don't get like extra sustain or EHP.
Quincy Crew's turn to pick.
All right,
Dark
Dark Willow.
Willow.
So I mean,
I like
wait,
that.
they banned Mars themselves, though.
Yeah, that's okay. There's a decent amount. I mean, Dark Willow is just a fine hero on its own. Like I feel like we saw Team Spirit literally play this hero in like TI semi-finals or whatever it was, and like maybe the grand finals. Like Mira just played this hero, and then nobody else plays it. I feel like this hero is just good on its own. I don't think there's anything wrong with this hero.
Disruptor.
I'm about it, but I still would have liked to see Mars because I feel like Mars is good versus IO Leshrac. you know, and then it also has a synergy with Dark Willow, you know. Like, I like anything that ensures that Io's not gonna do his dumb walk away thing, you know.
Remaining.
Yeah, I mean that's true. Maybe they feel like
5
they already have enough
seconds
lockdown
remaining.
with like Bane, Storm, and now Willow that they
Okay,
want to
yeah,
like
yeah.
keep their options open. I mean they have a lot of damage too, but I think
Undying's
Mars would have
turn
been
to
fine. But they
pick.
probably feel like
Legion Commander.
they don't need it in a way.
Okay.
Maybe there's something better. Maybe they can get like some Tide Hunter or Kunkka or something like this. Like I could see 3 Kunkka being pretty good. I don't think Saberlight plays it, but you get the X's for
10
Glimpse, you get the X
seconds
for the IO
remaining.
Relo. It's really good versus Lesh. Gives them the tanky frontliner buffer.
5 seconds
Nice with
remaining.
Willow, because you can set up. You get the boat torrent counter for the Legion. Like some hero like this is kind of, I think, what they're looking at.
Sorry, and thanks for the Twitch Prime. All right, well, Disruptor Legion Commander. I kind of like this combination that they're going for because they'll have Io Legion Commander in lane, and so that ensures Legion Commander gets a good start. Should have a relatively fast Blade Dagger, and then blink into Io Relocate with any sort of team support that provides just good team fight. I like what Quincy Cruz got so far, but TSM get a Razor pickup, which I feel like is a classic pickup against Leshrac at this point.
5
Yeah,
seconds remaining.
it can be pretty good. You just get the BKB and run at him. Kind of like, what does he do? Lesh, I think Lesh is pretty good like way later in the game, but there's a pretty big window where probably Razor favored. This Razor's also probably just gonna have like absolute free farm versus Legion.
Yeah.
I think Legion against this Legion IO, kind of talked about it yesterday. EG had it and didn't end up playing that lane. I still feel like this lane can kind of play versus anything. So if they choose to run that dual lane, they'll probably be okay. I think this draft's kind of interesting because, I mean, there's like 7 ranged heroes out of the 8. And a lot of them are kind of these like dainty spellcaster dudes.
Yeah.
Not a lot of beefcakes in this game. So kind of interesting. I feel like both teams, they're relying on these like ranged damage dealers to run in and be the front line. Like for Quincy, it's this Leshrac with this Legion and IO saves behind him. And then for TSM, it's this Razor. But they're not, if you think back like a couple of years ago, these types of heroes wouldn't traditionally be run like that. So that's kind of the adaptation of Dota, where you can itemize and combine heroes a bit better. People understand these things, so you're able to use these heroes in like more flexible roles.
10 seconds remaining.
Where's the beef?
5 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
where's the beef? I mean, TSM has to be thinking about some beefier last pick here.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they have so much damage and like follow-up. They just want some dude to go in and be able to tank or set stuff up. So
Undying's turn to ban.
Well, it's not exactly the beef I was thinking of.
Quincy
I like the
Cruz
tanking,
turn
man.
to pick.
Venomancer feels like, I mean, I guess they have Storm to start fights, but I think you would prefer your offlaner starting those fights, whether through just like walking at them or actually blink stunning somebody. So Storm has a better way to be able to like, because Io's naturally going to counter any initiation, right? He's just not going to show.
Yeah.
So if somebody else can start that fight, then Storm can hunt down the Gaio.
yeah. Trying to think what Quincy wants to. They don't have a lot of time. Maybe just Terrorblade or
Undying.
Ursa IO is a possibility. Luna IO. Alright. I think that's just like robust pick. This is a pretty similar draft to EG's yesterday. Luna Legion IO, right?
Yeah.
With like a int-milled spellcaster. We'll see if it works out better for them. Very strong side lanes for Quincy. It's probably Disruptor Luna and Legion IO. Very strong side lanes. And
5 seconds remaining.
like a pretty decent amount of scale coming out from their Tricore. They all get online. I think TSM, I still think Kunkka or Underlord are like kind of the type of hero they want.
Underlord. You still believe in that hero?
Yeah, I mean, I know you'll lose with it, but I still believe in it. I don't know if there's any big like counter initiators that look good, but
Yeah.
It's like these Pangos, but nobody plays Pango. Like Centaurs stuff.
You know, if they didn't have IO, I would say like Bloodseeker wouldn't feel bad. Brewmaster maybe.
The lane's too rough for Brew. Otherwise, yeah, I was thinking about it, but like this lane's pretty strong, so it's not that easy to just throw something up there in a way.
Oh, okay.
You always have to think about this Luna dueling. Oh, they did. They did go for it. Very nice call. I mean, Brewmaster is this kind of hero, like, if you go in with your Lesher, your Legion, and then the Brew gets his ult off, he can do a lot of work, you know? It's like this counter-initiator type role. And this beefy dude who, if he has a really good game, he can just run in front line. So, like, I think the pick is very good with their heroes, and I think it's a good Brewmaster game, but the lane is pretty spooky. Willow Brew is not that amazing of a lane, synergy-wise.
Yeah.
Like, Willow is probably one of the few subs who doesn't directly proc your Cinder that easily. And then, like, the later levels, I think it's fine. Just the early levels. And the problem is the Luna lanes are a lot about the early levels. Because they can punish you hard.
Any chance they aggro, or do you think the Razor versus Legion Commander is just too free?
I don't think you can aggro, because I think the Brew versus that Legion dueling is going to be, like, too miserable.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas the Razor can't just, like, run up and link a Luna that easily, because she's super fast, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I think the punish on the 2v1 is too bad for them to aggro. So I think we're just going to see the standard duel lanes. Yeah, a very interesting game. I think it's, like, pretty even in the draft. I think it's just going to come down to execution. Also, what is this Razor set, dude? Have you seen that shit?
Yes, I have the floating snake deal. Not my favorite
God
set,
damn.
to be honest.
That's just spicy as hell. Like, it's like some Medusa's cousin or something.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those things where I don't think it's a bad idea. I just don't love it anyway. I think it's the color of the snakes that bother me.
Prepare for battle.
This thing looks weird as hell in game, but I kind of like it. I don't even like a lot of cosmetics. I actually kind of like this one, but I agree it looks weird as hell.
Thing is, I like the back piece. I'm like I like the shoulder pads
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff.
true.
I just wish the snakes were like less purple and more blue, I guess.
Yeah, they're kind of like eels or something.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's you're right. That's not snakes. It's electric eels.
Wait, are they actually eels?
I mean, that makes more sense, right, for an electricity hero?
Oh, it says Test of the Basilisk Lord.
Oh.
Those basilisks.
Well, it would have been cool. Electric eels made a lot of sense to me for a Razor.
You're getting too deep into the lore now. Maybe they're electric basilisks.
Oh, okay. Need to brush up on my fantasy lore.
I think it's a cool looking set though. Like,
Yeah.
it's interesting looking, you know? All the spines and stuff coming out. See if it helps him win.
I hate this 1,000 minus 7 meme.
The battle begins.
What is
You know
that?
what you know what it is?
Oh, I do not know that one.
It's an anime reference. Which,
Oh, that's why I don't know it.
I was about to say you don't strike me as an anime watcher, so
No, it's probably the one area of media that I'm like the lowest on, you know?
yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I've seen some, but I'm not an avid consumer.
It's so in this anime a character is tortured in order to keep their mind I think like focus. I don't remember exactly. It's been a while since I watched it, but like he has them count down from 1,000 by 7, right? So 1,000 minus 7, you know, so on and so forth.
I see.
Anyway, I just associate it with every single player that that has some sort of username talking about how sad they are and how emotional they are. The Dota 2 player, you know? I'm just like,
Is playing Dota the
players.
equivalent to being confined for in a prison or what?
yeah, I have no fucking clue.
It's pretty close. I'll let you know. It's pretty close.
I mean, that's how Quinn described the playing professionally, anyway. So
Yeah, Quinn is. I mean, did you see Quinn's beard and the?
I
interview?
did. Yeah.
Man, this guy's becoming like some old cynical bastard like me. You know. I mean, he was always a cynical bastard, but now he's just getting older. So
Yeah, yeah.
you gotta watch out. That's what Dota does to you. Ages you 10 years for every 3. It's like dog years or something.
So I got out while I was still young, and then I got old anyway.
Yeah, I mean, look, yeah, like, you know, you look at you, you're like a healthy guy, you know. You can tell, like, you know, you've got a life, you've got your mental capacities, you're doing pretty well. You look at the people who are still playing Dota, it's rough, man. It's like you're in the trenches, you know.
Yeah. It's that is the part. Somebody said that's literally every Russian mid laner in every bracket. Yeah, it's kind of what I was referencing. I'm not a big fan of the glorification of you know, like being depressed or whatever. You know, like I'm so sad or whatever. Just like burying their life into Dota nonstop. It's not super healthy.
Oh, yeah, you should not do that. I'm not advocating it.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna do it, you know, grow some nasty ass beard. So at least you look cool.
Just start looking like a hermit as much as possible. All right, so bottom lane, we said this lane's pretty important. Saberlight is doing all right for himself so far. He's 14-2, so
I mean, he's doing the best of
Yeah.
anybody. You're underselling it. He's owning.
Well, I didn't want you to look bad because you said it was going to be a hard lane for him.
I think this should be a hard lane. I didn't watch like the first waves, but I mean, his lane doesn't really get easier. I think this is where like he can really get punished. But I mean, you just think conceptually, like he's gonna get beamed, hit with Disruptor, Thunder Strike, and right clicked with double aura. It's gonna cost him a lot of regen over time. But they're playing the early waves pretty well. They might get the Palno kill.
A little bit
Nice
of a mini
close.
stun, slowed down some of that damage, but they're still going to go for it. Pondo has to juke this. I think he
has
dies
Fairy Fire.
just 1 or 2 hits. Oh, he does have Fairy Fire, you're right. So he's good.
But yeah, this lane's going like pretty well. You can also take this early evasion point on Brewmaster now, which makes his lane a lot stronger. Like you lose some nuke capability, but I think a lot of times in professional games it's probably worth it just because the extra mischance, it adds up a lot over time on the lane. Like at the level 1 points, 15% now, it's pretty decent. So you know, you get the increase. It's pretty nice to have just passable. Like whenever I play versus Brews who take that shit, I hate it because you always miss like 3 times in a row. You're like, what the hell?
That shouldn't be possible. What's going on?
Going
Tomato.
Palno again.
He actually got him this time, I think.
This
Fairy
is a big
Fire,
kill
not enough.
because he's getting earn charges now.
Yeah.
This is like, this lane's not going well for Quincy.
Well, that's a little awkward because Kezu, I would say that he's doing probably better than I expected against a Razor lane, but as you said, IO Legion Commander, it kind of, it solves a lot of problems for you. And so his CS is not that terrible. 18-2, I'd say. It's not bad for a matchup that's pretty no fun, let's say.
Yeah, I think they're doing pretty well. I think it's like above average. I think.
Yeah.
I think Razor Bane could have maybe done a little better. She wins. It's laying on Isle here. The full level advantage with the Isle rotation.
As a result, they do kill Yawar bottom lane because he was left alone by Ponlo, but I mean, probably worth it in a lane that's already kind of struggling to make sure your mid laner is performing well.
Yeah, the mid snowball in this game on the Lesh is the most important. Like I'd say, you take that trade every day of the week.
Yeah.
Like who cares about Luna missing like 2 creeps? Like, it's irrelevant. But this Lesh getting kills on Storm, delaying his level 6, maybe getting like now they can contest a 6-minute rune, and Storm is still not 6. This is super big, and this type of stuff for the IO Lesh is what's gonna give them the game. That's gonna take the map over. So they don't get the rune. Kind of sad. But we see Storm just has to go jungle. And Bane wants to take mid because you don't want to lose too much XP. Which means, you know, this top lane's easier for Kezu. So all of these things kind of feed into each other.
Moon, with his illusion rune, decided to contest Yuar a little bit, but he is going to be caught. And definitely killed.
Impossible.
Interesting. He could have just TP'd out there. But
Yeah.
maybe he just wants to die and come back.
Yuar won't say no to that. A little bit of buff and experience for him. 5.5 right now, considering he just seems to have to give Saberlight the lane, especially now that he's got level 6. Primal Split's ready to go. Ponlo and Dubu doing a little dance here for the bounty rune. Ponlo grabbed it, but he's going to give up his life for it. Bryle very easily has enough damage.
Yeah, they're like kind of giving... I mean, both those kills gave Luna a little bit back, gave Storm a little bit back, but this Lesh is still the real winner of the early game. He's pulling pretty far ahead with the extra IO stacks. Like, I was accelerating him over this Legion, so... Which I think is fine. I think Legion's having a perfectly good game, and Lesh is the hero to play through. So they're doing a good job of playing towards what their lineup wants to do. Like, Milan's prioritizing the right people, I think.
Yeah. Especially since Tomato actually gave up the lane for a little bit while his supports were away doing other things. So, Kezu got a little bit of time to solo farm. Got a level 6 now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what they're gonna, like, do moves-wise, but... I think it's pretty hard for them to fight this Brew. So Brew is actually gonna go mid, try and fight for this rune. This is a hard fight for Quincy.
Once again, the rune is top. Quinn not going to receive any saving grace from Gaben himself. And Dubu should be able to hold the rune here. In fact, might even be able to help get the kill on Milan as they spot him. He tries to tether back into the lane, but the Brewmaster, those Brew legs are too tough to fight when it comes to team fights like that. So Bryle gets an Arcane Rune on a Storm Spirit. A big win.
Nice TP from Saberlight. I don't think they really had, like... I mean, they had this really good dire ward, I guess, so... They kind of saw Quincy trying to set up for this rune, and... Just super big punish, because they know this ILS. Like, they really want these power runes. And they're not going to go fight this Brewmaster bottom, you know? No one's going to go into this guy when he's super strong, so...
Still be a nice kill, though. They can get it. The Brambles holding Quinn back, so he wasn't actually able to land the stun. That is unfortunate. I'm not sure where that glimpse went, either.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, like, glimpsed him on spot because he walked up and then he walks back, and it's very awkward sometimes with this hero. But, I mean, they try and make his move now because he's in a Brule. But now it's kind of like... I don't even know if that kill does much if they get it. It's just, there's nowhere else to really go. I think they have to make some move top for this tower. Off, like, the duel and, maybe they just want to try and do it with Relo. Trying to get this 6. But
yeah,
the map's pretty constricting.
Because part of the move, Quinn makes that move, is Milan's able to get solo experience mid, right?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if he feels like maybe he has to make it with the IO. Maybe he's too squishy to a Storm rebuttal. But instead, Bryle just makes the move top first. So maybe anticipating or whatever, but this Razor's like, he's having a pretty good game now. And this map's getting closed out because there's going to be another Brule up in 20, and Quincy is not even close to taking any of these tier 1s. So their space is really getting constricted to this triangle, especially for Yar. Paulo's just... I mean, he might live here.
Yeah, where does Yuar go when his triangle's being constantly taken by a Leshrac? And as you said, the map is being constricted.
Quinn's invis, they're just going to reload on top.
You slow him down with the mini stun, missing out on the split earth. Not that it matters, they get the kill anyway, but Saberlight's now going to come in. He's going to prop with the primal split. They've got enough time to be able to stop this, relocate back if they want to. Milan.
Ooh. He got him out and died. What?
But how did they not stop it? What?
Well, you can't stop the reload back, right?
Oh, does tornadoing the IO or the...
Yeah, I think you're still tethered.
Not... Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Like, I don't think you can stop the relo up with anything unless you break the tether. But that's
Right.
like you can't force the break, so kind of awkward. But I think they should have just focused the IO faster. I think he dies.
Yeah,
I think they split some of the damage. So I mean, pretty interesting play from Quincy.
Dude, Rao's really low. Kezu wants to be able to get that kill. Instead, closes ranks with Dubu. Will be able to finish him off. Saberlight, obviously, not having his ultimate is not a huge threat. Maybe enough to kill Milan, but Kezu certainly would be able to win this one-on-one. Or even a one-on-two. Glimpse back. They do manage to catch Moon Meander here. He didn't pop... he doesn't have a TP, so he can't just Shadow Realm TP just yet.
Dire's middle tower is under
I mean,
attack.
I kind of like some of that happened for Quincy just because they got some, like they got this big Razor kill and they kind of made some stuff happen in a game state that wasn't super obvious, like where they were gonna make something happen.
Yeah.
And all that translates to, like Yawar got the kill and the XP on the Razor, right? And then he gets out, so then he gets to farm while the rest of that goes on. So it ends up being like pretty nice space for him, which I think overall benefits Quincy because the map state wasn't that favorable for them. And that Brew ult was up, so it's pretty scary for them to fight in this Brew ult. I think that's like the biggest spell for the next 5 minutes here. So it's coming up again in 35. They have a haste rune on Storm. I think Quincy, they're gonna get this top tower super big. So now this is like the space that Luna needs, and she also has this massive ancient stack.
Once again, a glimpse pick off. This time it will land on Moon Meander.
At least we're not stuck in court.
Yeah, it's nice. This is the kind of stuff Quincy wants. Just like these random pickoffs while Luna accelerates over this Razor, because she will outfarm him, especially with these stacks. And like the big timing is some of these tanky items in terms of Yules for Lesh, BKB for Luna, this Legion's getting Blade Mail. These three items are what's going to let them kind of sustain and fight through the Brew ult in these early fights. That's what they're trying to get to.
Yeah. So I always kind of like Urn on Dark Willow, but instead the Brewmaster got it.
Dire are
And the only reason that gives me any sort of pause is I think rushing Ags is super good on Brewmaster. And obviously completing a full-out Spirit Vessel will delay that a bit.
Radiant are
It is interesting. He did go for the full vessel. I mean, it makes sense for style, right?
Yeah, yeah.
In terms of Willow getting it, I could see an argument there. I just feel like Urn on Brew is just like too valuable.
Yeah.
Like just the early game. I mean, we saw him just being able to solo threaten Palmo or stuff like this. Like it really makes the hero in the early game. I mean, you can always get Urn and then like not finish the vessel, I guess. But again, he wants the vessel for the Isle, so it's kind of like a catch-22.
Oh, Silence goes down just before they can get off the Terrorize, which probably would have hit 3 or 4 heroes. Saberlight gets an opportunity to get off his Primal Split and is going to chase down Ponlo here. The rest of Quincy crew playing on the high ground, trying to save Ponlo. And it looks like they will be able to do it. Kezu, with just the level 2 press the attack,
Brew is coming back.
Yeah, he's going to come back, and he's going to potentially die right away if he gets caught. Kezu couldn't quite get there. Where's the glimpse? Finally gets it. Now the duel is going to commence, and that's a definite duel win and an opportunity for Quincy crew to take mid.
How did he get that glimpse, dude? I was looking at the range. There's no way you could get that. I would not have gotten that. I'm telling you. I would have clicked that glimpse. I would not have gotten it, and my team would have flamed me. But this boy gets it.
He had the extra 75 cast range from the Keen Optic too, so
That was legit it, yeah.
yeah, a
Every
number
little
mattered.
bit. I mean, they also had that high ground ward, which TSM pinged, but that was like a pretty big ward. They get a really big kill off. It translates into mid tier 1, and that's a big momentum swing because Brew. It's not just that Brew uses ult and didn't get anything. It's now he's really far away from his level 2 ult and his level 1 ult. So we saw there, not as scary anymore. You know, we have this locket on the IO, like Hood. And some more levels on Lesh. The Disruptor is the weakest target with 1000 HP with Fluffy Hat. He didn't even die there with the press attack, so he really needs level 2 Brutal now. And he needs Vessel charges. We're talking about he wants this Vessel. It's like almost 3,000 gold. It doesn't do anything because he has no charges.
Yeah.
So Quincy, they might just
Look at
try and
Quinn
punish
just
them more.
charging in. It does need the help. The relocate out is coming in and just in
Nice
time. He
reload.
saves. Kezu needs to be able to get away from this BKB'd up Razor. He actually goes for the duel onto Saberlight. The Eclipse is coming in, but it is not enough damage doesn't come in quite fast enough. Saberlight dies, but the duel
Razor
win
no
is going to
BKB
end.
though.
Yeah, Tomato's BKB has worn out. Dubu literally just throwing his life in there stops Ponlo from being able to get the glimpse. Might even be able to get a kill out of this. Yeah, Brain Sap kills him. Dubu saves Tomato and gets a kill. That was a pretty sick combo.
Yeah, that was a super heads up play by him. They do lose their high ground ward for it, but they have another one there, so I mean it's definitely worth the play. That was like a crazy duel. I didn't even see how that duel was going to work out, but Yawar came in with the Eclipse. Still level 1 Eclipse, but the Brood did get the Vessel charges off that. That was kind of nice for him. I honestly thought that fight, it felt like after that reload was going to go pretty bad for TSM, because like no Brule, no Vessel charges, Storm has to commit pretty deep, but the Razor, he got in and out, so like they kind of salvaged it. But again, feels like this game is slowly tipping towards Quincy's favor just in terms of the sustainability they have in these fights. Paulo gets the other obs as well, so that's both wards down for TSM, which is a pretty big blow. Because Storm, this hero likes vision. He needs to be able to see stuff to make the proper decision, so...
They're thinking about it, but immediately the Static Storm really well set up by Ponlo, and with the tier 2 doing its damage, yeah, they certainly get that kill. Saberlight also going to be a wasted Saberlight ultimate here, as the physical damage is easily going to overwhelm him. He doesn't have Ag, so he can't jump back at any point. Mood Meander is now going to be run down by Quinn as well. It's looking like all that farm they gave to Leshrac is going to pay off some serious dividends. They're actually going to turn back into this, though. Tomato with his BKB, fearless and trying to go for it, go for the kill onto Yawar, and it looks like he might be able to run down, but Milan gets a big heal. That is a monster Holy Locket save. TP out before the BKB wears thin. Ponlo looks for another glimpse kill, but not this time around.
I think that fight is honestly a product of, we were talking about these D wards in the jungle. Like TSM lost both their obs, and then they want to fight, but Storm's jumping blind here, and he's insta-static Storm. The fight's over. Like, he's dead 100% if he gets caught in the spell in this game. Very nice bait and positioning, but honestly, it's just a bit too antsy by TSM. They feel like they're strong, they feel like they want to fight, but that's not the fight you want to get, especially with no vision. And that Brule just disintegrated. What the hell?
Yeah.
Quinn just destroyed it. This extra magic amp and full Diabolic Edict.
A gift from the Tempest of
Now he's got full Sage Kaya. He's got an Essence Ring, level 14, and an Aegis. I mean, now, I don't know how TSM fight into the Quincy Ball right now.
Yeah, it seems like this Leshrac's going to be unstoppable, which is a big problem because TSM FTX, they're a lineup that needs to be aggressive, right? They need to be getting kills because that's the only way to be slowing down this Luna.
Yeah, they're not happy just letting Quincy hit their item times this game. I guarantee you that. Because the BKB timings hurt TSM a lot. The only hero who's really doing anything through them is Razor, and that's like dependent on getting a good link, and that's not a guarantee. This Luna with the Isle Tether, like 500, 450 MS. You know, Leshrac's a pretty fast hero, and he has Aegis, so Link doesn't last forever. So these fights are not going to get easier in the next 5-10 minutes for TSM. They need to kind of like make Quincy overextend or kind of find them on the map isolated, which isn't easy to do when you're playing into the reload, which we see here.
Nice try by Dubu, but honestly, if it saves his Storm Spirit or anybody from getting caught, they're going to try and go for the kill on the relocate backwards. The Terrorize is going to come through, but this Leshrac still does a lot of damage. He does get killed for the first light, but when he comes back, that's going to be the scary part for TSM FTX. Can they kill Quinn a second time? Saberlight throws down the disable, starts running away, but his Panda is getting ripped apart by the physical damage once again from the Diabolic.
Oh my
so they could not deal with him a second time. Oh dear.
Double damage Yawar, just a BKB shred Saberlight. This Brew is not looking, he's not looking tanky at all in this game.
No, he's not.
Like, I don't even know if this Ags, I mean, it helps because you can can bring yourself in and then cast it again. Like, you're just gonna melt twice? Almost feels like he's just gonna melt again. Maybe you just rather have BKBs. You can, like, stand there BKB, and then at least you have 10 seconds where you're kind of immortal. Unless you get dueled. I don't know. This is a hard game for Saberly right now. I don't think his itemization is very obvious at this point. I mean, like, you probably just commit for the Ags, but it feels pretty hard for him to just go in these fights versus Luna Lesh. So much AoE damage. Also, something we didn't mention, but, like, the Legion in this game, this Legion shard is pretty nice in this game.
Oh, nice catch. Kazu was setting up for this one for a while, and they may not be able to get the dual damage. In fact, they won't be able to get the kill at all.
No Static Storm?
I think it was just coming off cooldown.
Oh, it was.
Oh, that's,
yeah, he didn't have it.
Sad.
Interesting, though, because he could have reloaded Quinn, I think. And they just kill him. So, a little misplay there, I think.
Yeah.
But, like, this is, like, again, it's hard for TSM to play the map because this reload. This is the power of IO when you're in a game like this. Like, he compounds your lead because he makes it hard for the enemy to 5v5 you when he has his items, which he does. And he makes it hard for them to show on the map alone because he just reloads on any single threat setup. So the lead starts to build pretty fast, and we're seeing Quincy start to build this net worth lead. Nolan's going to take a break.
Little reset for Ping, most likely. Seems game 2. Quincy crew with what I would say is, I mean, first and foremost, just changing out Luna and Naga Siren, right? Huge difference there in like the capacity of your carry to be able to fight with you for this. Yep. And we've seen a big difference in how Quincy crew's been able to play this game. But I think the IO, I mean, TSM, we're probably looking at it like, okay, we dismantled IO when Evil Geniuses played it. We'll see if we can beat it. This game, too, I don't know. I'm going to say, I'm not sure what Pon was. He's disconnected. It's 4 versus 5, so it's hard.
Giving a little smack to the admin, you know.
Anyway, I'm thinking IO needs to be... Oh, damn, look at that. An admin actually asking for the player to point his webcam at him. That is a rarity, I would say.
I mean, that shit is a disgrace. Like, come on. Get your goddamn shit together. You know, you're representing your team and your brand in an official DPC tournament. Just set up your stupid webcams. There's so many teams and players that do this shit. Like,
did you see the forehead segment that we did at ESL?
No, I did not. But I can imagine what that was.
it was guess the forehead, and it was all the pro players and all the forehead shots of their webcams. It's so many.
Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm calling all of you out. You're a professional esports player. Remember this: when all these players complain about a blah 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 scene isn't good for us, like Valve this, funding that. Remember that they can't be bothered to set up a proper webcam. So just remember that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Anyway, I was going to say, I think IO needs to be banned game 3.
I mean, that's the nature of IO.
Yeah.
We're seeing the dual reload. That Link did not look that good there.
No, Tomato, he's going to try and go for a TP outside of vision, but he's just dead unless the sleep. Dubu saves him with a nightmare. God, Dubu's so clutch.
Dubu's been playing well the last few series. I'll give him that.
Yeah, he has.
Like, he's had some very nice timings and positioning on some of these heads-up plays that are small, but, like, they keep you in the game, you know?
Yep.
But yeah, that is the nature of IO. We saw EG. They played it, they lost, and it just got ignored. This hero's like, you win with it, it's like auto-ban. Oh, this hero's so broken, can't deal with it. You beat it, you're like, I knew this hero was beatable, it's trash. They're not going to pick it again.
Yeah.
I don't know, this hero fluctuates so heavily. And I think it's like that for teams too. Like when teams play this hero, they feel like it's either super imba and they can't lose with it, it's impossible, or it's like nothing about this hero's working, why are we picking it?
Yeah.
This is a very strange hero, but
I have to imagine it's a weirder experience beating and getting beaten by the IO, because I think teams can look drastically different with IO, right? I feel like it's a hero that both individual player performance, but also just like how the team plays around it, can change how the hero looks so dramatically.
For sure. This hero's a team hero, like, through and through. I mean, having a good IO player is nice. Like, it definitely helps in terms of just like getting the clutch relocates, or, you know, knowing how to position in the fights and that stuff. It definitely matters a lot. But this is, at the end of the day, a very team-oriented hero in terms of who you're playing with, where you're playing with, how you're combining your heroes and your timings, like how you play the fights. All that is super important for this hero and for the team to understand. You know, you want the ball to be an amplifier, not a dead weight shackled to your carry, right?
Yeah, draining all of his experience constantly.
Yeah, this hero can very quickly become the actual ball and chain that's just like, wham, I support sucking all my XP doing nothing.
That's
Wham,
the cosmetic
you know?
I want to see. None of this companion cube nonsense. I want to see the ball and chain cosmetic for IO.
That'd be pretty cool, to be honest. It'd be pretty funny. See TSM smoking up. This is a really pivotal fight for them, but BKB on Lesh and Luna has Scotty too.
Yeah, who do they even initiate on? If they can find Pombo, that's a pretty good start to things. And I think Quincy Crew, they acknowledge that, and they say, okay, fair play. You got the right initiation to win a team fight. We're just going to cut our losses.
Yeah, and this is the Storm reveal with his BKB. So they're probably like, all right, not going to commit in there. It's on their outpost. They probably have vision there. We don't have any vision. It's a hard place to fight. I kind of agree. It's probably not the exact fight you want to take. You rather make TSM commit a bit deeper, so that when Lesh and Luna pop their BKBs, you know there's a duel coming out and you anchor the fight.
Right.
What you don't want to have happen is some jump like that and Lesh and Luna pop BKBs and Storm jumps out and there's like nothing there to hit. Then you're in trouble. So kind of agree with that type of fight. Just not the proper setup. But they didn't really commit or lose anything, so they get to like stay out on the map and try and play for this Roche, which is probably the biggest thing in this game. In terms of Razor or Luna getting that.
Do you know,
Storm,
so
I guess.
It used to be that you could get Radiance on Brewmaster, and the Radiance would stick on the Earth Panda.
Mm-hmm.
Is that still the case, and does it also work that way with Cloak of Flames?
Yeah, it should. I'm pretty sure Cloak of Flames works on the... Still, unless like it doesn't count the neutral item slot, but I'm pretty sure it does. So any aura should go through. Radiance still works.
That's pretty hype. That's
yeah.
Great neutral.
I actually haven't thought about this Cloak of Flames. I mean, it should work. I don't see why I wouldn't. I guess I'll check the next fight, but yeah, I mean, it's a great item on Brew anyway, right? Just the armor and magic resist is like pretty nice for him. Every little bit adds up on a 3 KHP hero.
Small little glimpse back. Saberlight is going to be able to get off his ultimate. He just picked up the Aghanim Scepters, who has got a second charge for this team fight. Bryle does manage to get off his BKB and
Lesh
jumps
in
over to
trouble.
Quinn. Lesh is definitely going to be very, very low and probably die here as Tomato does enough damage. Fortunately, a
Yawar,
really
though.
well-timed Yawar, who's just a beautiful Lucent Beam, be able to stop the Storm Spirit and almost enough damage to kill Tomato as well. The glimpse back, and he does die. Massive buybacks coming in from Quincy Crew to ensure that this team fight is completely over. Quincy Crew are going to be able to grab multiple kills. They're even going to be able to get Saberlight, even dual damage if they can do it fast enough. They do. And straight to the high ground they go.
I mean, what? Quinn got disintegrated, but he has buyback. Gets to like this tier 1 mid, so you can get there pretty fast. The IO dies, but IO has buy and can reload in. It's kind of like a, 5v7. Pretty hard fight to win. A decent fight for TSM, but they're just a little bit too far behind. Y'all are cleaning that up. The link kills the Lesh, but the downside is you're not linking his Luna. So Yawar has a free fight in terms of just sitting there and smacking everybody.
Yeah, you demolished that Storm Sphere pretty quickly, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. I almost think you have to play to link the Luna to win the long fight. Otherwise, what happens there is what's going to happen. Like, you'll win the short fight, but then Luna cleans you up. But I mean, that's obviously easier said than done, right? So,
Yeah.
still, it's like a decentish fight for TSM considering their position. They're going to lose Aegis off it, which is why Quincy committed the buybacks. I think that's the correct move, because now they get the Aegis on Lesh, so it's like, who cares buyback? I'd almost like to see them get a 4-staff on somebody. I feel like that's what's missing. Like, imagine if they could have forced the Lesh there. I feel like then they just win the fight.
Yeah. Ponlo's got bigger aspirations than that. He's working towards an Aghanim Scepter.
That's definitely powerful. I'm not sure it's better than just getting the 4-staff, but obviously it's a far more powerful item, and the potential's way higher in terms of it helps Kezu just blink duel people, right? You just throw it on top, like, towards the end of the duel. I don't think you want to throw it at the start. You want to throw it, like, halfway through, so then you get the guy, like, fully afterwards, but it also makes him a bit tankier.
Looks like they're going to get another tier 3 for free here, but the smoke is coming in from the other side. If they can get some of these heroes on the low ground, that'd be nice. Quinn is positioning himself to be the front line, but they do manage to get the duel with the Static Storm onto the Brewmaster. A massive win. Tomato, though, is draining the damage away from UR, sticking on top of him, but it looks like with 3 heroes surrounding him, Tomato, he might be able to get the kill on the Luna, but he will go down eventually. TSM FDX, they hold, but somehow still lost the range barracks?
Yeah, Catapult was just hitting it, I guess. This thing's still going to town.
Jeez. Oh, yeah,
Go ahead.
The illusions. He had Manta illusions hitting it the entire time, so.
That'll do it. I mean, it's not the biggest deal. It's like the right kind of fight they wanted. They get the flank, and then they get the link on the Luna. I think we saw the big difference there in terms of Razor going on this Luna instead of somebody else. Because once the Luna's out, like, nothing else, you know, this Lesh, he's going to use his resources anyway. And he has 2 lives, so focus him is like, there's no point.
Yeah.
But once Luna gets drained, it hurts their DPS a lot. And it's just really nice Static Storm dual reaction to catch this Brew. He didn't get any spells off, so. Good idea of how to fight by TSM, just better execution from Quincy, playing on their wards. They had a high ground advantage. Kind of good positioning with the mid barracks going down. They know there's probably some smoke flame coming out when no one's defending that.
Yeah.
And now they have Ags finished on Palno, so could catch Bryle off guard if he's not careful.
BKB up next for Milan. Anything to make himself tankier against the Storm Spirit? Tomato is going to be their target. He does not have a TP. It's on cooldown as he just came down here. This could get really bad. They're searching for him. They need to...
I don't know he's there.
Yeah, apparently not.
They're kind of getting sandwiched, though. Palmo TP down. They're hiding in trees. They're going to show. And Quincy's going to try and jump this now. Like, what the hell are these guys doing?
TSM
this is
has
Scotty beams.
Yeah, they're going to be able to slow him down. Scotty against this Razor is going to slow him down to a halt. Saberlight's here, and he gets off the ultimate this time around. So, they have that opportunity. Tomato's going to start draining away some damage from Quinn. There's going to be the duel, though. They're going to turn around onto this Razor and just blow him up as the BKB wears out the magic damage of both the Eclipse and Quinn. Easily overwhelms the Razor. Now Saberlight's probably going to be run down as well. He's got another ultimate, but even if he pops it, pretty sure he just dies again.
Yeah, I was like, I think Quincy didn't even really know what was happening at the start of that. They're like, why are these guys here? Are these real? Yeah. And then, like, Dubu's just in the trees. Like, all right, we'll just kill you. And if Bane dies, I mean, Dubu has to kind of be alive as the fight goes on for them to win it. His spells are just too important, so. Sees Bryle defending base. Dubu might just die again.
Yeah, just run down. That's going to be Mega's most likely TSM calling it.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not enough damage on the TSM side. This Brew got, like, his game was pretty good in the early game, but those mid game, like the fight around the Radiant tier 2, those kind of things just debilitated his game progression.
So this is the third time in 3 different regions that in pretty quick succession that I've seen Razor lose, but also just lost in a sort of like they didn't have enough of a lead sort of way, right? Where like this Razor can scale into the late game, but if he ends up falling behind, he just can't keep up with these other heroes. I feel like this is the third time we've seen it. Is Razor like a little bit more solved than he used to be?
Maybe. I think this is just also a hard Razor game. I don't think there's like a clear, easy link target. You're playing against like 3 pretty fast cores. Legion, Luna, and Lesh are all, what, they're all like 320 MS plus, right?